You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings.
You're on. You played the beginning and they played the tape, so you're on.
No, I'm not. I don't see me.
Yeah, you're on. I see you.
Usually it's just a screen, just me by myself and nobody
Right, I'm
else.
getting to pop off and everything, but yeah, I see you.
No, I see the whole screen. We might have to do that over. I see the backdrop, but I don't see. Usually I'm in the room by myself. Nope. That's not it. That's a presentation. I don't know what the other one in the back is.
The other one in the back was your background. Your other background.
Usually I come on by myself and then you bring the PowerPoint.
Oh, I got you. Was that saying? Oh, yes, that's cool. Well, we can do that.
Okay, so we can start all over because you messed me up. Start all over from the beginning because I messed up.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet. That you showed up was written in my palm. You are a statement, explode like a bomb. I get to push myself to victory. You make me winner. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings. Yes, I'm the winner of the day. You cut me loose and set me free. You make me win every way. You showed me how to spread my wings.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Sharon Campbell. It is Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and we are so excited to be with you again. And so we are still this month, it's January 2026, and we are still talking about reading and the hidden cause for ignoring lifelong learning, which is so very important. And the reason we're taking this month is to kick off the year so that you can thrive and grow in your business or your nonprofit or your personal life or professional life. So this month is about finding your space, finding how to provide you the tools that you need so you can have the outcome through the rest of the year. And as we begin talking about reading, we want you to also go to our website, www.thesharoncampbell.com. Go to our blog, download this information, share it with people. Share, 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 and share some more. The more you share, the better the world is, and the better you're going to feel about your work in the community as you grow and thrive in your house, in your community, in your family, on your job, about reading and the importance. Join a reading club. Create one of yourself. You may say, you know what, I like reading comic books. Create your comic book club and bring people in. You may say, I like reading sports. Create your group and y'all read. I may like travel. Create your group and y'all travel together. But do something in 2026 that's going to change and elevate your tools for being a lifelong learner. So let's get started, Mark, with bringing up our PowerPoint presentation for today. Okay, Mark, we could drop the back part of the presentation. Thank you so very much. So we're going to just dive right on. If you stop reading, you stop learning. And that's so very important. Think about when you was in a child in school. We had all the different classes and we had to read, study, take tests, go off to college or go off to community college or go off to the military. We had to go off to a job. We had to do something. But why is it we stop reading? Now, I do not have any issue with anyone that like to plug it in their ear and listen, because you retain that also. So what are you doing to elevate you, and who's looking at you for leadership as we continue growing and thriving in this new year of reading? So when I think about reading, I think about the thing of the proposal driven of learning. And I think about how business and nonprofits don't fail overnight. They just don't. It is a gradual process for them because they stop learning. You know, they turn workshops. They believe if I meet the right people, we're going to generate all these sales and stuff, which that could be true. But at the same time, it keeps the door open for missed opportunity. And your vision drives up when you are not constantly talking about and sharing what your organization is doing. And then your curiosity phase. You just stop pushing yourself to the next. Innovation slows down because guess what? Your knowledge stagnated. It's like whenever you started off with the typewriter, and then the computer came around, and people were like, "Well, I just don't want to do that." And guess what? They stopped learning right then, and they was left behind. And so it's important that we stay current and we stay in the learning mode. We need to look at how business and nonprofit leaders and visionary people use these tools. And when you do not, funding dry up. Your title, it's great, but guess what? It's not going to get you everything. Your experience of who you are. You came in 10 years, you were ready to go, but guess what? You stop doing the basic things that you need. And you have your asset is your learning, the ability to learn, the ability to adapt, and you never stop learning. I know you keep saying that. It's repeat makes a difference. When you repeat something, it sticks with somebody. When you learn your ABCs, when you learn how to count, that repetition made a difference. And so for our show, it's about bringing that back up inside of you so that you can continuously move forward and seek out what you need. And so for today, we have several different pillars we're going to talk about. Why reading expands your vision and your strength. When leaders start reading, how nonprofits fail. The power of reading, the knowledge of building confidence and clarity in yourself. Why some people don't like to read, I think that's important. Making reading the leadership practice and expanding your knowledge, so very important. So let's jump in. Leaders expand how they think before it is created. You gain new knowledge and vision through reading what other people in your industry is saying. It keeps you abreast of how to grow your company. We learn from each other for the mistakes, and we don't want to pay that price. We see patterns and systems that we need to keep current and update. It sharpens our decision-making power. And I can be one to tell you, yes, it does. When you read and you are equipped and you have an issue come up, your mind goes back to some strategies that you read, and you immediately is able to tap into stay, and you stay relevant. You stay relevant in your industry because you are abreast of what's going on with that. So why don't some leaders don't read? I think that's a great question to ask. Why? Because you need to understand when leaders stop reading, how that affect. So failure often begins with statements like, I already know that. It is impossible for you to know everything in your industry. So that's one reason you have to read every day, morning, midday, and in the evening. And you can carve out time to do that. I don't have time to read. Yes, you do. Time management requires it. Get up early. Read during your lunch break. Read a few minutes before you go to bed. Set yourself up for success through reading. This doesn't apply to my organization. It may not now, but it will in the future. When leaders start learning, vision stops. Outdated stuff come in, funding stops. Your team is not motivated. And for those of us that's entrepreneurs, just one that wears so many hats, and you're trying to absorb that, you're not able to grow. You miss so many opportunities. So much money is left on the table by certain little things. You're like, you know what? I know I should read. You don't have to tell me this. Why because data and statistics saying it is not happening. We wish, we think, we won't, but in reality, it's not happening. We get in the room sometimes and we pick up little buzzwords and we'll start saying them. But those buzzwords do not take us where we need to go. And when you're picking up those words and you're using them out of context, everyone that's around you that understand what everyone else is talking about, realize that. Don't be the person in the room that's using the buzzword and don't really understand what it is they're saying and how to use it. Nonprofits, it shows up with poor governance. You look at your board, and because they're not being trained, they don't have a consistency of being trained on you can start off with a quarterly, then every 6 months, then once a year. New board members is always coming on. So you got to have a training manual. You need to be able to bring everybody up to par, all of that. It weakens fundraising, burnout, compliance issue. You don't have the capacity of the bandwidth to scale. You see so much decline in revenue. Many of my clients that bring me on, we talk about what happened and why we didn't fix that and why you didn't know that. And then you bring up these current articles that's in their field, letting them know the trends. You got to know the trends of your market. And if you're not reading, and if you're not getting Google alerts, and you just relying on someone to send them to you, or you're relying to go on Facebook and say, when I'm strolling, I hope I get something on LinkedIn, that is not going to work. You have to have professional standards that you are living by to grow your company. And that requires you to study and read and to engage with people that reads also. Being consistent. Being consistent is more powerful than anything else. And then build, because consistency build confidence, build clarity. When you know and you have knowledge, you can see it happen, not just in your return on your investment, but in your staff and yourself. You are also improving your communication. People start looking at you as the expert in that field. They'll start valuing your leadership skills. And now you can able to define the right strategies that best fit your organization. And so as we start this month, you should be coming up with strategies that how you're going to implement the next month and on over to the end of the year. It's always creating ways and looking at tasks and activities and who else you need to bring on. You're able to look at new markets, new trends, best practices, and you're able to lead your organization. You're able to lead your family. You're able to lead the people that helped you, because they get behind people that is current on their information. And so I just encourage you, is not how much you read, it's a consistency of building it through your reading knowledge. Why people don't like to read and the truth behind it, sometimes it's just past trauma. Using high school, elementary school, you was reading and you got embarrassed because people are looking at you. The pressure school, overwhelmed by not understanding the information. But I assure you, what I learned and I know about reading is this here. The more you read, the more critical thinking and the more that you can make decisions wisely. And the more you read different information, not all of business, but affirmation, your Bible, thought books, autobiographies of people, this just magazine article. The more you read, it's going to open the world up to you. When you get ready to travel, read about where you're going. I think if you just start with 10 or 15 minutes a day and build that. Now for us, that's real readers and stuff. We always look for reading groups. We always start a reading group. We're always pushing our mind to the next. We do studies that show that we do not use our mind no more than a grain of sand, and that ain't much. Okay, so we need to improve that, especially if we want to get the income we want. And you exposed to this knowledge and this technology out here, and there's no way about taking a shortcut. If you say, you know what, I'd rather listen to the book as I'm going in, driving into work, that's entertaining. I read certain books, and I have to have my journal to take notes, because the more I write, the more I attain. And that is definitely a strategy that a lot of people use, is because they love to write, and because they write it, they remember it, they can use it and go back to it. And so we also we're going to look at leadership. So reading help you improve your leadership, your soft skills. It help you be able to work with difficult clients. It also help you to navigate systems that you may need to run your organization or become certified in different areas. So all of that plays a part. And yes, you can do all of that. Yes, you can. It's about managing your company, managing your portfolio, and enjoy doing it at the same time and thriving. Reading and research go hand in hand. Have a component in your reading about researching something. Chat is great, but chat makes so many mistakes and so much stuff is outdated. So you cannot rely on it to give you everything. Sometimes that's your cheat sheet, but it's not your go-to sheet. Cheat sheet, but not go-to. Because you need evidence-based strategies. They will give you something chat, and it doesn't apply to your organization at all. Let that be your cheat sheet, but not your go-to. You'll be amazed at the fact that your employees, and your employee could be family members that's helping you, be so impressed by what you do, say, and the fact that you're up to date on your company and those trends. Research back learning and reduce guesswork. Okay? Research. Chat is great, but there are also so many other places out there that you can get information. And so I would like for you to just decide to come up with what it is that you have the capacity to do. And that can start off with something small as 10 or 15 minutes to grow to an hour. It is not, for me, I can read and write up to 2 hours in the morning time because I love reading. I'm reading the Bible, I'm reading affirmation, I'm reading something on business, I'm reading something on finance, I'm reading something that I enjoy. So I have all these reading books that surround me, and I have my journal that I'm writing about and how that this is going to help me build a better business for myself and for my family. It also provides me the leadership tools that I need to do this show every day or every Wednesday. And every day I'm preparing for it, but every Wednesday I'm showing up for it. But it does. I set aside the time as a leader to prepare and learn so much, like the right font to use on different PowerPoints for different platforms, because all of them is not the same. So I have to use different one. And so through reading, I'm finding out that, and also having a great production manager. I cannot say enough about Mark, about helping you figure that out, because each one of them is different. I say one book a month, a quarter, but you're going to have to push yourself. You're going to push. The time you spend strolling on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and all of that, trust me, that's money out of your pocket where you need to be working on building your business and working in your business. Again, I'm a notebook person. It has to be written down so I can retain it. Move. Just visiting a bookstore and just walking through the books. I know it may feel uncomfortable, but I'm telling you, it makes a big difference. It's easy to order off Amazon, having to put it at your front door. But I'm going to tell you, going into a bookstore, seeing the books, seeing people reading them, going through, picking them up, touching them, feeling them, all that is a great experience. And then having a mentor or a peer or someone else that you can discuss what you're reading about and get a different feedback. So I do love reading groups because I like to hear other people's opinion of what they read, and especially history, and how they interpret it and what that means. And reading aligns with your vision and your calling. It does. I do agree with that. It does align. And so reading without application is information, and reading with action becomes transformation. So I cannot wait to hear from you, engage with you about what you're reading. If you're going to start a reading club, let me know. If I have any time, I would tap into it. You will begin to grow and learn your leadership style and how that works in your finance. You will have a commitment and an impact in so many people's lives, especially your organization life. And that is my dog. And I don't know why Bella is barking, but hey, we're going to keep moving. The era of leadership stands out. When people talk to you, ask you to speak, your speaking engages this thing, and that's the platform you want to be in. You want to be able to share what you know, what you learned, and how that has improved your lives, and be an inspiration for somebody else, a younger person that's looking for a role model. Being committed and being consistent is the next step. So you can start small with it's an article. Go to the bookstore. I cannot tell you. Go to the bookstore, look through all those magazines, and say, "Oh, okay." For me, when I go to the bookstore, I buy too many magazines and too many books. So I'm learning to hold back on some of that, but it does expand your thinking by just visiting there, and you have some great people that's there at the bookstore. You are able to apply it when you work in the community and help communities grow and thrive. You're able to apply it immediately to decisions that you make. And when you're asking for someone to be your mentor or be your advisor or be your coach, that makes it different, because they're going to be talking about reading, and they're going to try to figure out what you read last, what's next, and that is going to be a big part on you developing and you growing. So let's talk about our closing thoughts, because I want you to get out today. If you can, stop by the bookstore and just browse through the bookstore. And inhale the knowledge that the bookstore offer. It's not about how many books. It's about the wisdom that you're going to get out of those books. Because lifelong learners build organizations. And when you sit down and talk to people, I know what. I just thought about this. Once you go and schedule an appointment and talk to people that's in business that you may would like to understand how they grow their business, but talk to them in the sense of reading and what they read, and talk to them about where to start with that. The world will open up to you. Readers love to say, "Hey, let me tell you the best book. Let me tell you what is happening in my industry. Did you have this app? Let me show you this." We love that. Because we read, we are prepared today for what may happen in the economy in the world, and we're ready to lead tomorrow with all that we have. And so what I want to leave you with today is this. Readers are out there waiting on you. And we want you to be part of us, because we know how that will impact you personal and professional and your finance. And a little commitment from you, being a lifetime learner, the reward is so powerful. And the energy that reading give you and the knowledge base for you to share with other people is even more powerful than anything else. And a simpler visit to the bookstore by yourself, with a group, invite others to attend. The smile on your face, the laughter in your voice makes the big difference to how you lead, how you govern, and how you inspire others to be their best. And that is what reading is about. Reading is about leaving that legacy, whether you have children or whether you have nieces, nephews, or cousins, friends. It's about leaving behind a legacy that can prove without a shadow of a doubt that reading opened up the world to us. Mark, if you could take down our presentation, I appreciate it. And just bring me up. Thank you. And so as I bring Mark on the stage, because he's a lifelong reader, and I want him to share his experience with you about reading and the importance. So Mark, come to the stage and close us out, because I want them to hear more than just me talk about reading.
No, reading is very important. I am definitely a lifelong reader, as you said. I was actually just looking at a book that I picked up because there was a time that the library would have different books that would be available, and they were used books, and I actually had an autobiography of Dick Van Dyke. So I was looking at that book that is in my book collection. So the great actor and talented entertainer, Dick Van Dyke, has got his autobiography. I've also got one of Ted Koppel. And like I said, I think there's one in the house of Barbara Walters and Walter Cronkite as well. So a lot of great folks that you can learn about. I mentioned on the last show the gentleman that was the basis of the book Pursuit of Happiness, and all along those lines. And I think I've got a book from Oprah's other half, Stedman Graham, somewhere around this house, and all along those lines. And like you said, my grandmother was a librarian, both created the Black Library in Raleigh, but it was also a librarian here in Durham as well. So I always remember going to her house when she was living, and she passed away in the early 80s, and getting books from her, because she definitely instilled in me that idea that how the importance of reading and all along those lines. And both of my parents are very well educated, and definitely they have instilled that in me, as well as my younger brother, who's in his late 50s, but also his kids, who are my nephews. One of them getting ready to go off to college next year. And of course, he'll be reading textbooks, but he's also got some books that he enjoys reading as well. I know that sometimes we think of the young people being involved with video games, and not saying that they aren't, but some of them are also reading their favorite books. I think about some of the young people that used to like Harry Potter and all along those lines. So you got some people that like the fantasy around what that's all about, and all in that space. So definitely there can be some great books. And I even remember growing up reading like some of the books of Nero Wolfe, and all in that space. So definitely I've read some detective books as well as some biographies, like I said, but sometimes it's good to read a good mystery too. So I've also got some books that are mysteries in my collection as well. And then I've got some self-help books, and all in that space. So it's a very extensive collection. It's got a couple of bookshelves that have the various books, and all along those lines. Even got some books that are spiritually based, and all in that kind of way. And of course, everybody in their house, or most everybody, probably has a copy of the Bible or some religious work or another. And definitely I would say that I've got that as well. So definitely books are very important, and we definitely need to use those books. And like you said, go to the library. The library is an important place, and sometimes it's just good to feel the texture of a book and everything. A lot of the information we can get from the internet, and the internet is a great global library and everything along those lines. But sometimes you just want to feel the cover of a book. I know that I mentioned to you before that my grandmother was featured in the collection of letters between Arna Bontemps and Langston Hughes, where they're saying that there was a good place to stop by and visit, was to come by and visit the Lee family and everything like that. And that was during the Harlem Renaissance. But I think about all the great authors, and even some of the great plays that started, and the movies even that started off as books, and all along those lines. But definitely it's always good to see and enjoy the comfort of reading, and to add, and like you said, have a reading group, or even create a reading list. I mentioned earlier to you that we're going to start a series of events at Hey Ty. One of those will be the first concert, which will be Brandy Younger, who is a harpist. And I don't know if she's got a book or not, but we're also starting the Hey Ty Dialogues. And the Hey Ty Dialogues will feature people like Keith Knight, who is a cartoonist and definitely an illustrator. And he is done that book that became the Hulu series Woke, but we've also got Melissa Harris Perry coming, and we've got Taisha Coates, and a lot of people are familiar with his books, and a couple of other authors as well. I think Britt Bennett will be coming also. So there will be a series where people will get a chance to talk to the authors, and I'm a big fan because I know that sometimes the Regulator and even some of the bookstores in Raleigh will sometimes have book talks, and the authors will come and present their books. I remember seeing a couple of those books talks when the No Bookstore was open, and Bruce Bridges was having some of the authors come, even people like Sister Soldier and stuff like that. So it's always good when you got these different books that you can read and get your own interpretation. I know that the authors have the interpretation of what they want you to get, but everybody reads it at a different way. And there may be a different interpretation in certain books than what even the author was intended.
Right. That, you know what? And that's why I love to be in the history reading groups, because everybody have their own interpretation of what history was. And it's, especially when we talk about the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, people like, y'all got, there are groups out there that love that, to say, what was their intention when they wrote that? Right. And so I want to thank you for your feedback in it, especially having different people talk about reading and encouraging people is so very important. We all only have one more show this month on reading, and then we're going to be going into our book of a month that we're going to be reading for businesses, and then we're going to showcase some other books that you can read for fun. I want to thank you, everybody, for being part of the Plan to Prosper podcast show. And it has been an honor and a pleasure to work with our producer of our show. And we're on so many different platforms. And so if you could just follow us and share the information and become a lifelong learner for others. Have a very good night and enjoy the rest of your week.
Do that, and we'll get on out of here with your intro. This is also your outro, but another amazing show. And we look forward to seeing more people become great readers. But right now, let's get on out of here.
Okay.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings, but now I shine with your reflection on me. I'm getting back up on my feet.